Nice to meet you, I can see you think I'm average. Got diamond chokers hitting underneath the mattress. I'm Johnny Depp, I won't forget about what happened. Why we always dancing in the past tense? Let's get past this. She said hi like she wanna say bye. I think you're pretty, I'm the ordinary guy.
Like, as I look back and domino effect everything, like ever since I was a kid, I loved music, and I loved, you know, screaming music in the car. And in second grade, I had done a talent show, like sung some Tom Petty song. But during elementary school, like singing's not like, and music is not the cool thing. So I definitely got a little probably scared and timid with that. And I was like, F this, I'm not doing this again after I even did it. And like from there on after that, I'd gone to a couple concerts, and I just always had that love for, you know, just listening to music and all that. And I would sing to myself and take videos of myself. And I finally like posted one in 7th grade, and I think it was Lazy Song by Bruno Mars. And it like got a good amount of like, oh, hey, like you can sing. But in middle school, there was still like the you know, like it's still not the cool thing, you know? And I posted another one just for shits and giggles, and some dude commented a paragraph of ha-has, and I deleted the video, and then I didn't show any singing for like such a long time. And I ended up doing like acting and like film stuff in high school. And I know I did some film stuff. And I still always loved music, but I always loved like kind of being in front of the camera, so to say. But then when I said that I would do it, I would still get like this nervous feeling. But I feel like when I would sing, and sorry, I was looking that way, but when I would sing, I would lose that sense of nervousness being in front of people, because I just felt like I was, you know, I don't know, it just felt like my escape or my therapy. And after high school, I really wanted to learn guitar, but my parents were always like, hey, like we'll get you guitar lessons and do this and do that. You can sing and do that stuff. And I was like, you never like to do what your parents tell you, just 'cause it's like taking the trash out sometimes. But, it was all for good love. And I kind of quote unquote ignored it for a little bit until I like had my courage or enough money to kind of do it on my own. I paid for a lesson, and I ended up going to Australia like right after that lesson. So I didn't have a lesson for a while. But in the midst of that, sorry, I'm rewinding back. Now I'm like going through the whole process of everything. I went through like my first quote unquote heartbreak, and I like was laying in bed, and I just wrote all these thoughts down and I kind of wanted to put into a song. And it was like the weirdest, like coolest feeling, like making that and kind of like writing down my feelings that I wouldn't want to like say to anyone. And whatever, we made some shitty ass song that's on Spotify somewhere under another project called, I don't know if I'll say it right now, but maybe some other day. Paradigms. That's what it's called. Look up Paradigms. The cat's out. Yeah, it was like a pop punky, like random little thing. But after I studied abroad in Australia, came back, ended up taking another guitar lesson with this homie that I met that became one of my best friends, and he kind of put that belief in me, and I started like singing and doing some stuff with the homie Aaron, and he was like, yo dude, like, you should like kind of do something with this. And I had always wanted to, but I never really like said that to everyone. And it was cool to have someone like him who was so talented in music like tell me that and believe in me. And I think from there on is when I really just said fuck it, and I was like, I'm gonna go after this thing. And I always had like these second thoughts or second guesses on certain things. And then as a year went by, I think this was like right before COVID happened, and I had written a couple songs, but they felt celebratory because I found out, like, I'd woken up from a dream one night and I had like this melody about like, I was like, I'm kind of like falling, I don't know if I'm falling in love with this chick, but I'm like, what moves fast? And I was like, dust. No, right? Yeah, dust in the wind. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to say dust of love. And I ended up like scratch vocaling like this random thing. I didn't even know what a melody was. And I just kind of did it. And I go over to do a song with Joey, which I can tell it was like my first song, like really ever really produced. And I could tell we weren't really vibing, and Aaron ended up coming to the studio with us at Joey's house. Joey's like, let's try something different. And, and I've never been in that process. I started jamming out, and it kind of matched the melody that I had from that night. And I was like kind of singing under my breath, like, cause I wasn't confident. And I was like, these guys are way more talented than me. I'm just going to let them do their thing. And I sang it a little bit, and Joey's like, that's dope. He's like, that's dope, dude. He's like, he's like, see. And we started, that was like the whole chorus. And then we wrote from there on. And then when the song was finished, I like cried, like in the car listening with them. And I don't know what it was, but this immediate stress hit me where I was like, how the fuck do I do this again? Like, whatever happiness I felt there, and even from like those weeks on after making that and being so proud to show people and people around me like something that I've created, felt so special to me. And I got like this stress of like, how do I do this again? Like, I didn't know how it happened. And then from there on, I just fell in love with it super quick. And I made another song, but I would celebrate all like just one song being done. And my dad was like, dude, like, if you want to make this happen, like, you got to like, do shit, like, it's not just one song and then be cool with it, And there was 2 songs I had written to those first 2 songs I had released were to kind of get a chance with this girl. They were written about that. And I ended up getting a chance with her. And Rob DM'd me like, I think a couple months after I'd released 24 Roses, which was my second song, and was like, yo, this is dope. Like, what else you got in the tank? Like, I had a couple random things, but I didn't have shit. And what was crazy is the day after, that girl had split things off right after Rob had messaged me. And when I had told him about the girl, I'm like, yeah, dude, I wrote these songs and I'm actually dating her right now. And then the next day she broke things off. Something just hit me where I was like, I took everything I had in like stocks and all the money I kind of made, and I booked a trip to Joshua Tree and told all my friends to take off work and that I was going to pay them to go. I had no idea what was going to happen, but we ended up making that first album, and I ended up breaking down there like towards the end of the trip because I wasn't getting any sleep, and we were making that process happen again and again. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything else.
So then, from that to Tell Them Stories was like, it seems like it's a big jump, but I can see the progression in your music as far as that. And so then, what about these 4 songs with Tell Them Stories made it curated for this album? It could have been more.
Could have been more?
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't think it could have been. I think in those moments that were happening, like, because I was going through kind of a moment with one of the songs I had just released in Drunk on Drugs, and I feel like I was so open to like just speaking what I was about in that certain, like, I had this blind confidence, and I still, based off like the stress of like wanting to be where I want to be with this music, I struggle sometimes with that blind confidence, and luckily I have such a great team around me that believes in it just as much as me, to kind of keep me going and have that like don't give a shit attitude. And you got to have that in this industry. And I feel like Tell Them Stories was just like this, it kind of says just who I am in 4 songs. It's like, take care of your friends, be there for the people who are there for you, and yeah, that's about it. But I think in just kind of the struggles of where I'm where I come from as a musician in terms of where I go through mentally, and I feel like it emulates that really well in there, and the production and the lyrics of it.
So I'ma go where the wind blows me, find a couple people that know me, and we can make a couple good stories. When I die, don't cry, tell them for me, low key, even when the dreaming left me lonely.
I feel like I'm a super emotional writer. I feel like I have to be going through that, or I've learned to tap into those emotions, like certain emotions. Like if we were gonna write about something sad or write about something happy, like I feel like that's what the beauty of music is, like, and why I'm so proud of what like me and my friends create is like you create kind of this thing of a moment that you think is gone, but you make it present again, you know, with that song. And I feel like it's cool to look back on past songs and kind of relive those moments and get tied to those emotions. And I feel like that's been a good practice for me, just listening back to certain songs or feeling certain moments back in the past and tying them into what I'm writing now, or, you know, what I've written before. My goal is to play as many shows as possible, because I feel like that's where like I shine and where the music shines the most. I'm with all my friends, the band, and emulating the music in the best way possible. And I think anything that's happened good has been with me playing live shows and having those organic, you know, moments happen. And because the lyrics I feel like are, you know, relatable to so many people. And I want to play as many shows as I can, because I feel like I'm good with people in person, and I mean, it's just a therapy for me. And we're releasing some songs though too, definitely. We got a couple goodies on the way right after this, so we won't keep you waiting long.
That's what that is.
Hi, this is DYLVN, and you just been buzzed.